What happens when free love and peace turn into a nightmare of violence and chaos? In the late 60s, the counterculture movement was in full swing, promising a new era of love, peace, and understanding. But there was a sinister undercurrent, a dark side to the hippie dream, embodied by Charles Manson and his followers, known as the Manson family. Manson, a charismatic and manipulative figure, twisted the ideals of peace and love, creating a cult fueled by paranoia and violence. Among his followers was a young woman named Susan Atkins. Her story begins like many others of the time, seeking love and acceptance, but tragically veered off course. She was drawn to Manson, captivated by his charisma and the promise of a family. Little did she know, she was stepping into a dangerous web, a twisted distortion of the counterculture she sought. Enter Susan Atkins, a young woman drawn into the dangerous web of Charles Manson's cult. Susan Atkins was not just a follower, but an active participant in one of the most infamous crimes in American history. As part of the Charles Manson family, she played a key role in the gruesome Tate-LaBianca murders, forever etching her name into the annals of America's dark past. The chilling events unfolded over 2 nights in August of 1969. Atkins, along with several other family members, descended upon the home of actress Sharon Tate. The brutality that ensued was beyond anything the nation had seen before. Atkins herself was responsible for the cruel demise of Tate, who was 8 months pregnant at the time. The following night, the Manson family struck again, this time at the home of Leno and Rosemary LaBianca. Atkins, while not physically involved, was instrumental in planning the assault. The sheer savagery of these crimes sent shockwaves across the country, shattering the illusion of safety in one's own home. Atkins's involvement in these heinous acts was not of a mindless follower, but that of an active participant driven by a twisted ideology. Her actions were a stark contrast to the image of a simple, innocent girl she once embodied. The transformation was not just shocking, but also a chilling testament to the destructive power of manipulation and brainwashing. Atkins, once a seemingly innocent girl, was now a cold-blooded killer. As the sun rose on the morning after the murders, it marked the beginning of the end for the Manson family. The law enforcement's relentless pursuit of justice led to the arrest of the Manson family members, including Susan Atkins. The investigation peeled back the layers of a chilling narrative that had its roots in a twisted interpretation of peace and love. The trial that ensued was nothing short of a media circus. The public's fascination with the cult was palpable, as the courtroom was filled with an eerie mix of horror and intrigue. Every testimony was a revelation, every exhibit a damning piece of evidence. The Manson family, once a symbol of a distorted dream, was now exposed for what it really was, a nightmarish reality. The verdict was unanimous. Atkins and her fellow cult members were sentenced, but their story was far from over. From a death sentence to life imprisonment, Atkins' journey through the American criminal justice system was a tumultuous one. After the California Supreme Court invalidated the state's death penalty statutes in 1972, Atkins found herself confined within the cold, hard walls of a prison cell for life. Her time behind bars was marked by a transformation that was as profound as it was controversial. She renounced Charles Manson and the twisted ideology that had once driven her to commit heinous acts. Atkins claimed to have found religion, becoming a born-again Christian who spent her days praying, counseling other inmates, and even writing a book about her experiences. Despite her attempts at redemption, Atkins's past cast a long and unforgiving shadow. She applied for parole multiple times, but each attempt was met with public outcry and denied by the parole board. The memories of her crimes, it seemed, were far too potent to be erased by time or by goodwill. In 2009, Atkins passed away in prison, 40 years after her initial incarceration. Her death did little to quell the public's fascination with her life, her crimes, and her association with the Manson family. Instead, it served to cement her legacy in the annals of American crime history. Susan Atkins, once a symbol of a murderous cult, ended her days as a stark reminder of the dark side of the American dream.